So directly attacking the batteries, plus and minus. Then the current is arriving here, then it goes here, plus minus. The current is coming from the top to bottom, so plus and minus. Again it continues, plus and minus. The current starts from here, so this will be plus, this side will be minus. So all the resistors are completed, only this one is left. So this is plus, this is minus, because the battery is connected, the negative phase is connected to the resistor, so the resistor will have a negative phase. So that was about the sign convention. Then the labeling of points A, B, C, D, and this point was labeled as E. Then what about the currents? This was the current I1, this was the current I2, this was the current I1 minus I2, and I had the current I3 here. Continue with our thing. So I1 was arriving to point A, I2 was going to point B, then from A to point D it will be the difference between the two, that was I1 and I2. So I1 minus I2, that was the case. Then I1 minus I2 will go towards point D, and I3 will be coming out of the battery of 5 volt. And at this point, the current which goes from B to C, it is I2 is arriving from this side, I3 is arriving from this side. So the current flowing towards C will be I2 plus I3. Now, if you observe at point C again, the I1 is going out and I2 and I3 are arriving. So the current which is flowing here, I will put the sign here so that I will be able to write the current. So it will be I2 plus I3 minus I1. So that those are my currents. Then next thing is about how to get the equations. To get the equations, we will be having the circuit KVL. Already we have applied the KCL, Kirchhoff's current law has been applied already here. At this point, I1 is arriving, I2 is leaving, so this will be I1 minus I2, the difference between those two currents. So at point A, already KCL is applied. Also at point B, I2 is arriving, I3 is arriving, and those two are moving together towards point C. Again, KCL has been applied here also. Again at this point, KCL is again applied, I2 plus I3 is arriving, I1 is leaving, so I2 plus I3 minus I1. So already KCL has been applied. So applying KVL. Applying KVL to the first loop, let us take this one, A, B, C, A. So if I apply this to this one, so what is going to happen? Going from A to B, it will be, what is the current and what is the resistance? What is the first sign? I am coming across a plus. What is the value there? It is a 4 ohm resistor. What is the current there? It is I2. Then what about the next thing? Going from B to C, it will be 2 ohm resistor. The first thing is I am coming across a plus sign. 2 ohm resistor. The current there is I2 plus I3. Then next thing is going back from C to A. So what is the first sign? It will be a plus sign for this resistor. What is the value? It will be 1 ohm. What is the current flowing in that branch? It is I1. And there is a battery of 10 volt. The first sign I am coming across is 10 volt. And everything else should be equated to 0. Now, how many I1 terms are there? There is only one. So I will take it as I1. Then what next? How many I2 terms are there? There is a 4 times of I2, there is a 2 times of I2, both are with plus sign, so they will be added, so it will be plus 6 I2. How many I3 terms are there? There is only one, so it will be only 2 I3 equals, this 10 can be shifted to the right hand side, it becomes 10, so this was my equation number. Now, similarly, applying KVL to A, D, C, A. So A to D, D to C, C back to A. So going from A to D, what is the first sign? It is plus 4 ohm resistor. Current flowing is I1 minus I2. So that was the first part. And the second part is this thing. So it will be minus 2 times of. Current is I2 plus I3 minus I1. Then going from this side to this side, it will be plus. What is the resistance? It is 1 ohm. Current is I1. What is the battery there? It is minus 10 equals 0. Now look for the I1 terms. There are 3 I1 terms. There is with a 4. There is a minus into minus, this becomes plus. So it will be 2 I1, then there is a 1 I1. So totally it is 4 plus 2 plus 1. So it was totally 7 times of I1. Then going for I2 terms, 4 into minus I2, this is going to give me minus 4 I2. This minus 2 is going to be multiplied to this I2. Again there is a negative sign, so it will be 2 I2. There are no more I2 terms. So minus 4 minus 2. Totally it is going to become minus 6 I2. Then going for the I3 terms, there is only one I3 term that is going to be multiplied by this minus 2. So it will be minus 2 I3 equals 10. So this will be my equation number 2. On that day, I think this was my equation number 1. Now going for the third part, B, C, D, E, B. So going for the third part, going from B to C, what is the sign here? It is a plus. What is the value there? It is 2. The current flowing there is I2 plus I3. Then next thing is again going from C to D, there is a plus 2 multiplied by I2 plus I3 minus I1. I came till here. Then going from D to E, I am coming across this battery which is of 5 volt. The first thing I am coming across is a minus sign. So it will be minus 5 and that should be equated to 0 because nothing else is present between E to P. If there is a component, we will take it term. If there is no component, if only current is there, there will be no term coming in the equation. Now opening the brackets, how many terms are there? I1 terms are there. There is only one I1 and that is going to be multiplied by this 2. So 2 into minus I1, it gives me minus 2 times of I1. Then I2 terms, there is a plus 2, then again there is a plus 2, so it will be totally plus 4 I2. Then how many I3 terms are there? There is a plus 2, again there is a plus 2, so it will be totally 4 I3 equals, I can shift this 5 to the right hand side and this is going to become my equation number 3. Now next thing is creating the matrix of these 3 equations. So first I am going to create the matrix or the determinant delta. Look for the coefficients in each of the equations. If you cannot understand the equations directly, write the equations again before creating this determinant. Before writing the determinant, write all the 3 equations together. So where is my first equation? It is here. So it is I1, 6I2, 2I3. So it is coefficient is 1, coefficient is 6, coefficient is 2. So this is going to form my first row. So that will be 1, 6, 2. That is my first equation. Going for the second equation, 7, minus 6 and minus 2. Then the third equation is here. It is minus 2, 4, 4. Now it will be plus, minus, plus. Alternatively, the signs will be given to the top row. So what it will be? It will be 1 into the smaller determinant. So I am going to eliminate the first column, I am going to eliminate the first row. What I am left with is minus 6, minus 2, 4 and 4. I hope you are able to understand this step. What I have done is taking the first term of the first row and eliminating this thing. I will get 6, minus 2, 4 and 4 in the first smaller determinant. Next thing it will be 6 multiplied by. So I am going to eliminate the central column and the top row. 7 minus 2 is left, minus 2 and 4 is left. So it will be 7 minus 2 and 4. Then the third term is plus 2 into, I will eliminate this thing. What I am left with is 7 minus 6, minus 2 and 4. So this will be 7 minus 6, minus 2 and 4. So that is my first step of simplification of determinants. Then going after 1 into primary diagonal minus 6 into 4, that gives me minus 24, minus 2, this will be with again minus sign, so minus into minus it becomes plus, 2 into 4, this gives me plus 8. Next thing, minus 6 into primary diagonal 7 into 4, it gives me 28. This will be minus, minus into minus, plus, plus into minus, again it will be minus. So 2 into 2, 4, so it will be minus 4, plus 2 into primary diagonal 7 into 4, it will be 28. There are again two minus signs will cancel each other, another minus sign, there will be minus. So 6 into 2, it will be 12. So next step, 1 into 24, sorry, minus 24 plus 8 is going to give me minus 16, minus 6 into 24, 28 minus 4 gives me 24, plus 2 into 28 minus 12, that gives me 16. So this should give me minus 16, minus 6 into 24 gives me, I think, 144. Yeah, it will be 144, and this is again 2 into 16, 32. So it is minus 16 plus, sorry, minus 144, and then there is a plus 32. So now this is going to give me 128, 128 plus 132. So delta value is 128. Now going for delta 1. The first column should be replaced by the constants. So what are the constants? 10, again a 10, again a 5. So this will be 10, 10 and 5. Rest of the determinant remains same. So that will be 6, minus 6 and 4. And on the last row it is 2, minus 2 and 4. Going for the simplification, plus, minus, plus. So it will be 10 into primary diagonal, the smaller determinants. I will directly multiply this one and this one. So it will be 6 into 4, it will be minus 24. Then going for this one, there will be a plus sign on the top of this one. So that is going to become, so this is going to be, sorry, plus into minus, but minus into minus, it is going to become plus. So it will be plus of 2 into 4, it becomes 8. So I have simplified this much of determinant, the smaller determinant which is present here. Next thing, going for the second one, it will be minus 6 into 10 will be multiplied by this 4, this 2 is going to be multiplied by this 5. So again there will be a minus sign on the top, so minus into minus, it becomes plus. So 10 into 4, that gives me 40, plus this 5 into 2, that gives me 10. So there was already a minus sign, there was a minus sign on the top, and that will multiply to this one. So 5 into 2, that gives me 10. Then the third term is going to be plus 2 times of 10 into 4, that gives me 40, and 5 into 6, that gives me 30. And there is a minus sign again, so it is going to become plus. So it will be 40 plus 30. So that is my simplification. Now directly jumping to the next step. 10 into minus 24 plus 8 is going to give me minus 16. Minus 6 remains as it is. 40 plus 10 will give me 50. Then plus 2 into, that is going to give me 70. So this is going to give me minus 160. Minus 50 into minus 6, it is going to give me minus 300. And this is going to give me plus 2 into 70, that is going to become 140. So plus 160, sorry, minus 160 plus 140, that gives me minus 20. Minus 20 and minus 300, this is going to give me minus 320. So I got the value of my delta 1. Going for delta 2. The first column 1, 7, minus 2 remains as it is. The last column 2, minus 2, 4. I should be looking at delta for replacing the column. Don't look at delta 1 for replacing the column. So in the center, I will write the constant, that is 10, 10 and 5. Again, directly plus, minus, plus. Simplification, 1 into 10 fours are 40, minus of minus is going to become plus. So 5 into 2, that gives me 10, so it will be plus 10. Then there is a minus 10. Then next thing is 10 into the 7 will be multiplied to 4 and 2 is going to be multiplied to 2. So it will be 28 minus 4, because there are already two minus signs. Another minus sign will come, it will become minus into minus into minus. So 3 minus signs is going to give me again a minus sign. Then the third one, plus 2 into 7 5s are 35 plus 20. So it is minus 2 into 10, it is going to give me minus 20. There will be a minus on the top of the 10, it is going to become plus, it is going to become plus 20. So 1 into 50 minus 10 into 28 minus 4, 24. So it will be plus 24 plus 2 into 55. So this gives me 50 minus 240 plus 2 into 55, that gives me 110. So there is a 240, 150 and 110 is going to give me 160, 240 it is going to give me minus 80. So that is the value of delta 2. Delta 3, that will be first two columns of delta will remain same. So 1, 7, minus 2. The second one is 6, minus 6 and 4 will remain as it is. Then the third column will be replaced by the constants. So that will be 10, 10 and 5. Solving for delta 3. So plus, minus, plus. So it will be 1 into minus 6 into 5 minus 30. This will be multiplied to this one. So it is going to become minus 40. Then there is a minus 6 on the top. 7 will be multiplied to 5. It is going to give me 35. 10 is going to multiply to minus 2. Already there is a minus sign. This will become plus. So it will be plus 20. Then the third one, plus 10 into 7 into 4, 28. Minus into minus, plus, as there is another minus, so there will be a minus sign. 6 into 2, 12. So it will be 1 into minus 70 minus 6 into 55 plus 10 into 16. So this will be minus 70 minus 6 into 55, that gives me 33 is there, so 330, and then there will be a plus 160. So minus 70 and minus 330, that gives me minus 400 plus 160 give me minus 340. I got my value of delta 3. Now first thing, I1 will be given by delta 1 divided by delta. So what is the value of my delta 1? Delta 1 is minus 320. It is here, and this is my delta 2 and this is my delta 3. So going after this one, delta 1 is minus 320 divided by the value of delta. The value of delta is here. It is minus 128. So minus cancels out. And if I simplify this, this should give me 5 by 2, or it is equal to 2.5 ampere. So that is the value of my I1. Similarly, I2 is going to be delta 2 divided by delta. What is the value of my delta 2? It is minus 80 divided by minus 128. This gives me, on simplification, the value of I2 is going to be, so this will be 8, 5, 16 5s are 80, and this is going to become 5 by 8. And if I write it further in the form of decimal, it will be 0.625 ampere. That is the value of my I2. I think it is visible or not. It is, I'll try. If it is okay, this is I3, it will be delta 3 divided by delta. So this is going to give me delta 3 is minus 340 divided by delta is minus 128. That is going to give me, the minus sign goes out. The value in the fraction part, it is going to become 1.875 ampere. So we got the values of I1, I2 and I3 with the help of determinants, in which the method was direct but it was lengthy. The only thing is, you should be good with your tables, only then you will be able to utilize this method. Of course, it took me a lot of time because I was explaining the things, but when you are solving, you will be able to do it in a much faster way. But only thing is, you should be good in solving your determinants and you should be good in your writing the tables. So if you want, you can take the screenshot. The final answer is not yet completed. So if you want, you can take the screenshot of this thing now. Then next thing, now what is left? We got the values of I1, I2 and I3. What is left? There is still one small thing is left, because in the theory exam this much is sufficient, but if you get this type of a question in your entrance exams, then this is not sufficient, because in the entrance exam they may not ask you the values of I1, I2 or I3. Rather, they are going to ask you what is the current flowing in this 4 ohm resistor, or they may ask you what is the current flowing in the 2 ohm resistor, or they may ask you what is the current flowing in this arm which is 5 volt battery is connected. They may ask you one particular question, one particular branch, what is the current there. So now we need to get the values of the currents which are flowing in each and every branch. How many branches are there? I will write the list of the branches. The first one is, I will take the current value itself. It will be IAB. The current which is flowing from point A to point B. What is that current? It is I2. What is the value of I2? It is 0.625 ampere. Then next branch. Let's deal with only the A part. Let us say C to A. What is the current? I of C to A. What is the current there? It is I1. The value of the current I1. We got it as 2.5 ampere. Then another one branch coming from A is A to D. What is the current there? It is I1 minus I2. So it will be 2.5 minus 0.625, and that IAD is going to give me 1.875 ampere. You can verify this answer with your calculator. Then next thing, A part is completed. B part, it is already A part is completed. Now we have to go from B to C. So IBC, that is going to give me I2 plus I3. Now what is the value of I2 plus I3? What is the value of I2? It is 0.625 plus I3 is 1.875. If you add it, so IBC is going to give me 2.5 ampere. Then C to D. What is C to D? I2 plus I3 minus I1. That is going to give me I2 is 0.625 plus 1.875 minus of 2.5. We already got the sum of these two numbers as 2.5. So ICD, we know it is going to become 0 ampere. Next thing. So this part is over, the central part is over. The only part that is left is current flowing IDEB. This is the only branch that is left. So IDEB directly is the values I3, and the value of I3 is 1.875 ampere. So that completes my final answer.